All right, guys. So welcome to How May We Service You, the podcast all about service industry. My name is Texas De La Rosa. We've got the lovely
Gina Ray. Hi, everybody.
That's right, Miss Gina Ray. Gina Ray in the house today. And we've got our wonderful and fabulous, most amazing guest to date. We all know her as LUIPTA NYONG'O.
Wow. To date.
Announce yourself.
Don't embarrass me.
Don't embarrass you.
I'm Guadalupe Escojido.
Well, how come I can't embarrass you when you always embarrass me?
I mean, okay.
I can't embarrass you.
I knew I was coming on here, so I was going to be like, oh, he's going to get me. I know for sure.
You know I'm about to get you, bitch.
I know. It's
been waiting.
We are so excited because we like when friends come on the show, and we all talk about, of course, all the crazy things that happen in the service industry and in the bar industry, just all the craziness. And man, the stories we have to tell you today. My mom actually was like, when you have that show, when it's edited, I want to watch that one because I love Lupe. Because Lupe's went back home with me. When was that? Like 3 years ago?
It was a
maybe?
minute. I think it was 4.
Your hair wasn't this long.
It wasn't that long.
This is his real hair.
It was the Dora Explorer cut, right?
He had the Dora the Explorer cut, yes.
You did. You had that chili bowl thing going for a little
When
while.
you're trying to grow your hair out, it sometimes goes through
Chili
an ugly
bowl cut.
phase. It was a chili bowl cut. It was not cute. But
Why didn't y'all tell me that?
I did. I told you every day.
Because you're our friend and we love you and accept you.
No, I told him every day.
4 years later, chili bowl.
His hair looked like shit.
No, I told you it looked funny.
No, it was good. It was good. But anyways,
You're like, bitch.
he's went back home with me. Mom loves you. He's like a family member, and
I love her too.
He's been in the service industry for a long time, so we're gonna get to know him. But before we do that, I want to talk about something that we have on right now because there's something going on this week.
Oh, Mardi Gras.
I know. If you notice, we have some little Mardi Gras beads on here. And I want to thank Mackie Ray. Mackie Ray, you're amazing. Where are you at, Mackie? Where's that big booty man? Thank
Appreciate
you, Mackie
the
Ray.
beads.
He got this. It's Texas. It's so cute. He was thoughtful.
Mackie went to the South and came back alive,
He
y'all.
came back
so
alive
we're so
from Mardi
happy.
Gras, from Louisiana.
Praise that.
So let me tell you, he made it back a fucking live.
You know the
and
Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia type
he's
situation.
a little sunburned, but that's all right. We're happy to have him back. So Fat Tuesday's tomorrow. So we're filming on Monday before
Fat Tuesday.
It's tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, and then Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday. So
and then Lent,
so
40
this will be
days.
edited obviously afterwards. So, but we are going to be celebrating and having. Are you doing anything fun?
Oh, I always do Lent, which is so fun.
know.
I've never failed at Lent. I'm not Catholic, but I grew up in San Angelo, Texas.
Yeah.
And Lent
That's
was
very
one of the
prominent.
things, yeah. My softball team was mostly Hispanic girls that were Catholic. And so we all just we're in softball season. We're going to do Lent together.
Okay.
I've done it since, so.
Well, there you go. So if you don't know what Lent is, I kind of don't either. But and I'm Catholic. Damn it, I'm a bad Catholic.
Synopsis: Jesus died. Jesus
know.
woke up in the between time, the sacrifice, 40 days, 40 nights. You give up something for your faith, for your practice.
But you have to give up something you really
For your walk.
do a lot of. Like maybe you indulge
What
in.
are you gonna do
Like whether
this-
it's alcohol
Okay, this is a
or
good question.
sweets or like whatever.
So yeah,
You
most-
can't give up women, Mackie. No, you can't give up women.
No, so most bartenders usually give up drinking, and I'm giving up drinking, and then I'm also doing no eating out.
Oh.
Unless it's like a necessity of my travel or something.
Got it, okay.
But I'm gonna do no drinking,
That's a
like
good
at
one.
all. When I used to work here, I would do no drinking behind
the
bar.
Well.
But now I'm gonna do no drinking, and we're gonna see how that works.
Okay.
I've never failed a
It's gonna work.
Lent.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
Lupe,
gonna do it.
I do too, because she's always very good about sticking to what she does. So do you celebrate Lent? Is that what you do? Do you celebrate?
It's a celebration.
It's a celebration,
of
right?
types, but I believe it's like more when we're talking about it. It's like practice.
Right. So do you practice?
Lent?
So you don't practice Lent? Okay. See, I don't really either. And again, I grew up with a Catholic family,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't really go along with a lot of what the Catholicism kind of entails, because I think a lot of it's fear-mongering and crazy. Now,
Okay.
that may not be what people want to hear, but we don't really get religious on the show, but I just kind of don't really follow that.
But we give our
that
opinions.
realm. I don't really follow it, so I don't really give up anything. But, if you do give up something, tell us about it. Tell us what you give up.
And follow me on it, because I'm going to be posting about it, because
she'll
it's going to be
posting.
hard. Because this year, what I'm going to make sure I do is not stop doing the things I do because I'm not drinking,
Right.
which is going to be interesting because a lot of our social habits
involve
are drinking.
alcohol. Yeah.
Right. So.
But I think it's kind of interesting to go out sometimes and not have beers or drinks or whatever when you're with your friends and actually get to talk to them. It kind of makes you see a different side of people. a different side of people. So if you're the sober one with a bunch of drinking people, it could be a little bit annoying sometimes.
No, I get Red Bull wasted.
Yeah, Red Bull wasted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
That
Well,
heart going.
speaking of wasted, we're not gonna get wasted on the show, but we are gonna have. We are
Mama,
gonna get
this
tipsy.
is Sprite and that's Coke.
That's not Sprite.
Your aunt,
Oh, your auntie's
she
calling you.
I'm gonna call her
Your
back
TT's
though.
We're
calling
gonna
you.
sidebar her.
Yeah.
So we go. All right. So we're gonna do our cheers for the.
Oh.
So if you have a drink, cheers.
If you have a
to
drink,
you. You got a drink in your
cheers.
hand. Cheers, cheers.
wow.
Oh, I know. Wow, I almost missed you. Okay. Good old Jameson. Yum.
So, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen you in 2 weeks because now we're doing the show twice a month instead
Yes.
of like every
The
week.
second and
every
the
day.
last Monday of the month. The second and last Monday of the
It's
month.
a little flexible,
A
but
little bit more flexible, and we want to make sure we get the guests on that we really want. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's really hard getting guests to come in
yeah, definitely.
as much as they need to.
And
or,
also,
you know.
like, we're both entrepreneurs, so it's a lot easier if our time isn't consumed every
we are
time.
very busy people. Like I'm starting my own podcast and YouTube channel for my hair and makeup and all my crazy stuff. You're doing your Let's Talk
Podcast. I'm
You're an
painting.
artist. So,
I have a live painting coming this
I know.
Thursday.
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
So we're busy. So we're doing the shows
Cool.
twice a month now, but we're trying to get you the best content. So. But yeah, so anyways.
So we brought Lupe on.
We brought Lupe on because Lupe is one of the funniest people we know. He's a local celebrity. I would say.
Wow, you're a
The
celebrity?
he's a bar star. I think Lupe is a bar star. I think you're a bar
Well,
star.
star's better
He's
than a
very
fly.
well known.
I was about to say code name Fly. Bar Fly.
You know, I think you're a bar star because you do go to the bars a lot, and everyone knows who you are. It's kind of like, you're a little.
He gets in
You're a
front of the
socialite.
line.
Yes, you're a little socialite.
Discounts,
We
yeah.
all know who you are. So it's good. So it's interesting because
I just been coming here so long, so it's kind of like
but you're not just a bar star because
I'm
grandfathered in, but no, because you used to be in service industry, and that's what
Yeah,
most of our guests
this is true.
are also on for because they've been in been on in some sort of service industry.
And little known fact, our first season of How May We Service You, Texas, how many episodes?
We are now like 17, I think.
Okay, so our first 10 episodes, Lupe was there with us every single time.
He was always in the back helping with the camera. Or getting drinks for
And he
us.
would
and then drinking them.
And then he would go, it's not recording.
I know.
And we'd be like, it's fine, it's gonna work.
We're like veterans now with this podcast business.
We used to think the red light didn't matter.
Yeah, I go. It wasn't
red
recording
light.
for 20 minutes.
The red light always matters. It was kind of embarrassing, but we've learned a lot, and so we're excited to have Lupe on the show and actually be a guest on the show and not just kind of hanging out.
Well, thank y'all for inviting me.
in the
Exactly.
side. So yeah,
This
so
is fun already.
Yeah, our second time inviting you. We're so glad you made it.
I
this
know,
time.
okay, because I missed the first time because I was thrown like.
truth be told,
Y'all,
this-
there's an episode in the first season where it's just me and Texas on a couch. It's because of Lupe.
Lupe never showed up. He was
my bad.
so he went out on Sunday night, which Sunday Fun Day is a thing. Everyone goes out on Sunday here in Austin, and he got too fucked up and couldn't make it the whole day.
It was
Didn't
bad,
text me
y'all.
until like 5:30 and was like, "I'm sorry, I can't."
I
make
wasn't
the podcast."
alive until
I
I need to
was.
let you know this conversation. Me and Texas said when we have you on the show, we were going to talk about
Yeah.
this.
We're gonna
I
bring.
deserve it.
We're
I
gonna
deserve
dig
it.
that back
He's like,
up
I deserve it.
and talk about this.
See,
because
that's a grown ass man right
I
there.
deserve it.
I told
Yeah.
you that's what I appreciate. People that just stand in their moment.
Yeah,
and
let
you're
me just
like,
get it. Give it to me.
I was
sorry.
like, I
cool.
think I threatened to cut your hair.
Yeah, so you always threaten to do that.
Because
in
I'm
my
like, if you
sleep.
fuck up, I'm gonna cut that hair.
That's
He's
what I
like-
say to my
he's like
nephew.
my little brother. So he's like my little brother. Like, I'm gonna invite you over, let you fall asleep on my couch, and just you're gonna wake up with like scissors just next to you and like
I'm
the
supposed
hair
to stay there
gone.
tonight. I don't know if I am with him. And
What
scissors.
movie is that? They cut the bitch's hair off at a slumber
I know
party?
it was like a Sour Patch.
Oh no, that
Kids,
was in
or
junior
it the-
high.
Was it
one
the-
of the girls, one of the Laurens at our school? She went to a slumber party with the other girls, and they cut her hair because Lauren was the best gymnast, the best cheerleader.
Oh, no.
She was pretty. She had like blue eyes or whatever, but she was kind, and so all the other
Poor
bitches didn't like
Lauren.
her.
No.
They hated her.
Poor baby.
So
Did
sorry.
I was
so-
Lauren.
Did
I
she
was
wind up
Lauren.
shaving it, or did she like just leave
No,
it?
that
leave it
bitch
be?
rocked some
She rocked a
crazy
pixie
ass
cut.
hairstyle.
She probably looked really hot
Yeah,
too.
she
A pixie
did.
cut.
She rocked the chili bowl,
I
and then the
love
bitches,
it.
and then all them bitches cut their hair.
It was like a Regina George when they cut the holes in the shirt, and then every girl has the
Pretty
holes in the bra.
much. Pretty
well, good
much.
for her. That's
Yeah,
showing
shout out
them.
to Lauren.
Yeah.
Well,
I hope
to
you
the
good.
Lauren that I
Lauren.
actually liked.
I hope it grew
There was
back.
like 3 or 4 of them.
Well, that's awful.
Yeah.
There's always that like name that's when you're in school that like every student has. Like mine was Josh. Like I had like 7 Joshes within like a grade below me or a grade above me or on my grade. It was like literally Josh was like everybody's name. It was ridiculous. So
Lauren, Brittany, Michelle.
Had all those.
Basic names.
Basic names.
Sorry, kids.
Sorry, it's okay.
If you have one of those names, you're not basic, but the name might be. Anyways. So.
All right. So what have you been up to before? No, wait, because you
gotta
can't.
talk.
Yeah, you can't go.
Yeah, I've been working. Gosh, we had a crazy ass weekend this weekend. I've been tattooing more again.
You did that hand removal, right?
Oh, I'm doing
you
removal.
Did it
Yeah, I
live.
did removal. If you watched a video on Facebook recently, I just did saline removal for a friend of mine who's he's an EMT. He's trying to get rid of the tattoos because he's lost some job opportunities because he's got the tattoos on his hands, and I don't understand that because he's got tattoos everywhere else, and they said that they're fine with the rest of the body but not on the hands, or he's got one on the back of his ear, and I just don't get that because I don't see why that serves any purpose or why that would hinder anyone from helping anyone, because when you're in like any kind of emergency management technician or whatever, you're wearing gloves.
Yeah.
Right? So you're wearing gloves, you're not touching anyone with bare hands, so why the hell would it matter if you have a tattoo? I don't get it. But I'm removing it, so there you go. It's something to think about. If you know the answer, let us know. Because if you're listening to this podcast or if you're watching this podcast, if you know the answer, then let us know because I think it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I just don't even
I don't get it.
understand that now.
Because if he's always wearing gloves when he's touching people, because that's the first thing you do when you work in medical, I know that because I work in medical, is we put on gloves when we're touching clients or touching, whomever. So it doesn't make sense to me that he has to remove his tattoos on his knuckles.
Right, because even at the bar, I know this is random, but I just thought about this. Even at the bar, like if somebody breaks skin,
yeah,
like we put on gloves.
Absolutely.
And then
Absolutely. It happened yesterday.
Yeah.
I had a guy that had a nosebleed out of nowhere. He was just sitting at the bar and he like literally starts gushing blood.
Hot.
I didn't know what it was and I turned around and everyone was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh my God." So I threw him a bar towel and I was like, "Don't worry, you're fine." And he's like, "I'll just close my tab." And he had like one drink and then he like tipped me $10 left and he was like, he dropped his drink. I think he was nervous. He got scared.
No, something's wrong.
No, it was on top of his nose. It was like right here. And I was like, "What the? Did someone hit him?" And he was like, "No, it just started bleeding." And I was like, "Okay, spontaneous combustion. That's some bullshit."
Okay.
But it was crazy, right? So I'm looking over at him and he
Something
went.
suspect.
Right, I know. Did you do some coke in the bathroom?
I was like, you had some bad coke, bitch.
You did that. You were doing that Molly. Was it the Molly? Anyways, no. But he really was, and he came back actually as I was leaving. And I ran into him as I was walking out the door, and he was an older dude, and he thanked me. He was like, "Oh my God, thank you for being sweet to me and not, freaking out and making me feel embarrassed." He was like, "You just threw a towel to me," and I kind of was quick about getting him out of the bar.
Really
and then I had one of my
discreet.
bar backs, so I was like, "Hey, go, make sure he's okay," and because I was worried about him actually,
That's nasty.
genuinely worried because he was sitting, but yeah, because blood was all over the bar top, and I'm like, "Oh my God, someone clean this."
You're all concerned, but then like,
Have you ever seen somebody like trying to be cute and they just turn around and just smack and hit into a wall or something? I died.
But we have a story we've talked about.
Okay, hold on.
we got a few.
We gotta.
We're done. I'm done. My
Okay.
weekend's done. But because I want to talk about this story with
No, but we gotta.
No, because Lupe.
Do you know him?
He was with me, yes.
Okay, you're gonna tell.
But
okay.
we got to tell the story first because
Okay.
Lupe and I have hung
We
out
had some adventures.
forever. We've literally been
Since
friends.
you were 13.
No.
Adventures.
No, we
Oh,
met
13 years.
13. We met
Oh, I read that
when I was
wrong.
bartending. Yeah, you read that wrong. We met when I was bartending at Rain on 4th, and he walked in with his friend. And tell me about that.
I didn't want to go. I never wanted to go out.
So you
on
weren't
4th Street.
out.
I wasn't doing
yet.
anything.
So he wasn't out yet.
So I felt so self-conscious. Then me and my friend Josh, we walked up to the bar. We kept going Tuesdays. I finally went in there, finally felt comfortable. And he was like, Texas was like, "Hey, give me your number." And I was like,
No. I said,
"No, you said, hey, give me your number."
I said, "Here's my number." I said, "We should hang sometime," because we were talking
Yeah.
about music and just things and blah, blah, blah. This fool
Yeah.
thought I was hitting on him.
I go to Josh, I go, "Oh, okay, cool. Sounds good." I go, "He want to get with me? He's crazy."
I was like, "Oh my God!" So this just goes back to what we talked about with CJ Morgan last week on the show, when we talked about how not every buddy that you meet, not every bartender wants to fuck you. It's true. We don't.
Yeah.
Not all of us do. We may be nice to you, but it doesn't mean we want to fuck you. So he thought I wanted to fuck him. And I thought that was hilarious.
Little did I know.
Little did he know that I really wanted to be
friends.
friends. And then we sparked a friendship, and then we
Yeah.
became friends, and now we're like besties, and we've been friends for years and years.
Y'all are absolutely besties.
We
Oh my God.
hung out, and we've gone on trips together. We've gone to New Orleans. We've gone to Florida. We have stories, and one of those stories I want to talk about,
Which one is it?
the manhole.
Okay. I was thinking that
Yes,
too.
you heard that right. Manhole. Great oil can Harry's, and we're talking about manhole.
But we can't say the person because that's too much.
Yes, we
They
can.
they
His name
might
was
watch
Jordan.
it.
We'll just say his name was Jordan, and that was his name.
That
We'll just say
Why
his name
would
was
you
Jordan.
say? We're
But
not
his name
gonna
was
say
Jordan.
Jordan with the Y.
Jordan with a Y.
Yeah.
So Jordan, so you were talking about like, has anyone ever done anything cute and tried to be sexy in a bar and then fucked it up? Well,
We were walking real cute.
There
thought
was
we were.
yeah, there was this bar called Lanai that we all used to kind of bar hop to, and on
Love
Wednesdays,
Lanai.
loved Lanai. We would go there all the time, and my friend Jordan and Lupe and I were all going to this bar to go hang out. Well, they were doing construction right in front of Trulux. And there was like one of those like little, there was, yes girl, a fucking manhole. There was a manhole, and it had the construction tape around it.
It was like this big.
And it was
probably.
huge, and it's still there. So go check it out on 4th and Lavaca, right there. So we're there, and I'm looking, and this guy walks in front of us, and we're all like, God, that guy's hot. And all of a sudden,
He's walking
Jordan
backwards,
turns
though.
around
He's
to
saying
look
bye
at
to
him
somebody,
to
yeah.
say bye to that guy, because I guess they knew each other. He misses the tape and falls in the manhole. I'm not fucking kidding, guys.
But like cradle.
I
like
can't.
He's
No,
cradle.
he was like a turtle. His little arms were in this way. His arms were this way. His legs were.
What happened?
He fell in it, and his booty was in the manhole.
booty was in it.
Did he get out?
It looked like he
Yes.
was in the tub. You know when you sit in the tub and you put your arms and it looked like that?
No, I got the big
so
tub.
I started
Y'all.
screaming. You know when you're laughing so hard you can't do anything? I had no strength at all. I couldn't get him out of the hole because I was laughing. I was
And
running
they
in
were
circles.
trying to pull.
And
We ran to Rapolos.
Oh, I know. It was wild. It
We
was,
ran to Rapolos like behind and laughed.
yeah, I had to leave. I left him in the manhole.
The Rapolo's food truck that
Yes.
used to be there that no longer is.
He's no longer
Okay.
there. We left him in the. We did get him out, and then I took him to Lanai, and he had these like black tar marks all over his body. And I was trying to clean him up. He actually hurt himself really bad. He was like scuffed up, but he was too like proud to like say he was really hurt, so he just let me clean him up in the bathroom. So people were walking in the bathroom at Lanai, and I've got this like bar towel because my friends threw bar towels to us, and I'm trying to clean his back and his arms, and he was just like, oh. It
Could
was
not stop laughing.
so yeah, that happened.
I thought about that before we got
manhole.
on this show, and I started laughing like at work.
One of my biggest fears, and this goes back to watching Sex in the City. If that's going to date myself, I know that was a show that was popular back in the day.
I'm binge watching it right now,
Girl,
bitch.
it's a great show.
Absolutely.
But let me tell you, one of my scariest moments is when Samantha fell in one of those like little stairwells that goes down to the basements. You know, did you ever see that episode?
Maybe I might have been drunk on
Well,
wine.
she falls in one, and that's like been one of my fears when I'd be in New York, is like one of those things like falling through a grate.
Have
or
you ever
something.
fell downstairs?
No,
I have.
I've fallen upstairs.
No, I mean, no, you can do that.
You can fall upstairs. I
But-
have fallen up the stairs.
Like, so my tip is if you're falling downstairs, just to relax.
Just relax.
Remember when I fell down that spiral staircase in New Orleans?
But you need to relax, right? You just
No, I fell
It's
in a
safer.
spiral.
No, he literally fell in a circle and goes down. That's no. So preface this. We're in this club, and it was literally. Hey, Doria, how are you? We're in this club, and it's literally these people were trying to pull us in, like they do. They say, oh, we got free drinks, we got this, whatever. And so we go in. The bar is fucking empty. It's disgusting. And so we're like just wandering around, like, oh my god, why are we in this bar? And then we saw this spiral staircase. So we're like, ooh, what's up there? So we decided to go up it. And then there was a bar upstairs, so we started drinking up there. And then by the time we were totally fucked up. We get to the stairwell to go down. This one just hits it, holds it with both arms, and then both feet just buck out. And he just spins
was it on
down
your
the
ass though? You just
I don't even know how I did it.
It just looked like a ball of dust.
have you ever seen The Grudge? The movie The Grudge,
Yeah,
when the girl comes out all crazy? That's what he looked like going down the stairs.
I got up and I'm like, I'm okay. It felt like the DJ stopped, like it was
Everybody was He was such a mess. But no, he was fine. It was fine. And we wound up going to another bar. I think we got some pizza or something after that. It was wild. But yeah, but that's one of my stories of people trying to be cute. And
the
doing
bar?
something stupid. No, it was him trying to be cute, walk down them
I was
stairs.
thinking I was cute.
Yeah,
too,
no,
probably.
you did. I can imagine the chili bowl cutting you right here like this. Going
I fell up the stairs. Were you with me when I fell up the stairs going, and it was back at Lanai, I was when that roach was there. Do you remember?
Maybe that's
Was
why
it
they're not
you?
there. No, I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
maybe it was Bryce. I have a friend that named Bryce. It was with me. Bryce, if you're watching this show, we'll have to talk about
We're
this.
calling all kinds of names out
We
tonight.
are, girl. We're just
I wasn't
digging.
trying to. I said
We're
no.
gonna
No.
ask our producer to bleep them all out,
No,
but
I'm gonna
we
leave them
don't
all
pay
in.
enough
No,
for
I'm
that,
gonna be like,
so
leave them all
sorry.
in.
I haven't said any names.
No, so there was I am deathly afraid of roaches, guys. I don't know what it is about roaches, but I would rather see a rattlesnake.
Oh, I freeze
than
up,
a fucking
bitch.
roach.
I'm like,
And I literally, so this roach was, so Lanai, let's preface this, when you walked up to the bar, there was like a walkway in, a little small, and then this long staircase, and there was 2 of them to go upstairs to this bar. So it's like another Wednesday. We used to go on Wednesdays a lot. And we went out on Wednesday, and I remember walking up, and I remember like looking back at my friend Bryce and was talking to him. And as I turn around, there's a roach just on the street, and I swear it did like a little judo chop, and it kind of barked at me. This roach did, and I got so scared that I jumped over it, and then I started trying to run up the stairs, and I'm missing all of them. And I'm like a wild animal just clawing myself trying to get away from this roach. And he was like, it wasn't even after you. And I was like, but you know how you just think things are chasing you when they're not? And I was so scared of this roach. So yeah, I've fallen upstairs.
Me, I was on
Who the hell
hood. I'm
was
like, oh, it's just a roach. What's up, bro?
He went like to the roach.
I didn't grow up with roaches.
we
like-
grew up with roaches,
You
but
heard,
you
you
just
heard
said
it here,
it.
y'all. You heard it here.
They were around though, so I was like, oh, I got it.
No, baby girl, I was not okay. So don't do roaches. Hate them. They're gross. Does anyone get that? Does anyone,
Yes.
I mean,
Roaches, I'm
Roaches,
good. I mean, I don't want them around.
Mosquitoes, I'm allergic to them. Like when mosquitoes get me, they bruise. And so like Houston has mosquitoes everywhere, and they get in the bar, and so I have one of those like electric swatters, and people laugh.
an
at me.
electric swatter?
Yeah, like you can
What
get them
does
on
it do?
Amazon.com. Please sponsor us.
what is it? But how is it electric? What does it do?
So you push a button, and like as the mosquitoes flying by, you go like
It,
that,
like
and it
Mr.
goes.
Miyagi
and
is
it
it?
goes.
It like
and
it catches it.
Yeah, and it zaps it, and it's dead.
Because sometimes when you do a light hit,
Yeah.
it don't
Oh,
hit
it's
them
like
all
those
the way.
blue
Yeah.
lights that like they fly into and they zap and die.
Yeah, and it has like these checkers like this. But anyway, so I'll whack that hoe, right? And people they'll start laughing because I'll be like this at the bar, and I'm like, what can I
I
get you
would
to
be
try?
like, that would be hilarious.
And I
actually,
know
to
my
walk in and
owner
see that.
thinks that like the owner of the bar thinks that I'm nuts because, you know, like he checks the cameras, of course, and he's like probably like, what do you do? Because I'm always like, because the mosquitoes like.
I gotta say that I don't like bugs. I don't like bugs. I'm not a
None.
fan. I don't mind snakes. And you know what's odd? I don't mind big spiders if you're big. Like a tarantula, I'm not afraid of.
Okay.
But like skinny little spiders with like long legs freak me the fuck out.
Daddy longlegs, did
Don't
you
scare
know? Did you know that
They
they
have the
are
most
the
poison.
most poisonous spider?
But their mouth is
Are
too
too
small
small to
actually
bite.
bite a human.
You
Y'all
know
are
it
some-
too.
We are gonna
Fucking
be on Jeopardy.
Vicky right here, bitch.
Not true.
not just a bartender.
I thought
Somebody
y'all
just
were
said it's not
biologists.
true. You have to prove us wrong,
Yeah,
and if
prove-
we're wrong, buy us a shot.
There you go.
Bartender and biologist.
Google said we were right. So
Hey, Google.
fake news, whatever. Anyway,
Yep,
but no,
I'm
I've
right.
heard that too. I have heard that too. But I'm not afraid of big spiders like tarantulas. I'm not afraid of those things. And there's like these little, I call them jumping spiders when I was little. They're black and they have little blue dots on their back, and they kind of bounce. They look like a little hairy crab. Those are kind of cute.
But have you know what are they? Brown lacrosse or
Oh, fuck
lacrosse?
those. Yeah, those things.
I've gotten bitten by one
Oh,
twice.
you got to go to the hospital for
The
all
same
that.
one?
Yeah. Yeah.
They got you twice?
Yeah. Do you want to know where
Bitch,
it
what'd
bit
you
me?
do to it?
I don't know. Like it happened after the fact. You know? Want to know where it bit me?
Oh no. It didn't
Child,
bite
I don't
your,
wanna-
did it bite your coochie?
It bit me on the vag and it bit me on the back, and I still have a
Oh
hole in my back.
Okay, what were you doing?
But
though?
my
Yeah.
vag generated just fine. No.
Generated?
Generated.
That is the
power.
that is the header for this show. Generated vag.
No, but like seriously, like everything's okay now. But
Wow.
like, it got me there and here.
That was very Owen Wilson to me. Wow.
Let me can I
I'm-
just say something?
I'm
It's your
shocked.
fault. What were you doing? Sound like you were on your back somewhere in the
Oh,
woods.
Cece, what you doing? You're throwing shade. That's what we're not gonna do.
Was this like a?
I lived in Alabama in this old ass house in undergrad, and like my mom came in and exterminated the whole place.
I would have
but
bug bombed
there was still
everything.
shit everywhere.
I tell people all the time that I want no insects in my house. I literally would like birds to maybe fly by and die because there's so much poison in the air. 'Cause
And like you're not gonna tell me like now that I'm in Houston, people are like water bugs.
no.
Those are called
No,
roaches.
they're roaches. And
Water
they
bugs
fly.
are normal.
They fly.
And they fly like this. It's like
No. I
You
have
just bougie trying to
I
call
have dove into a pool before because one flew and landed on my shoulder, and I didn't know what it was, and so it was at night because it come out at night, y'all. And I'm telling you, if you haven't been around a water bug / roach, it flew and it hit me, and I went like this to flick it, and then that bitch jumped right back on me again. It was like, no, bitch, I'm here.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I'm not. I know you didn't.
No
and I
lie.
jumped in the water,
Oh,
and
my
then I was
God.
scared, like, oh shit, I jumped in the water with this. Now the water's in the roach, and it's a water roach, so is it going to swim faster than me? Like, is it Aquaman? And is it going to cut? So I lost my mind. So
No, me and Aaron were hanging out, and like a water bug like was moving,
No.
and I was like, get it. And so Aaron grabs it with the napkin. That motherfucker jumps out of the
No.
napkin. Like,
No.
Yeah.
okay, we're done with Animal
We have to be
Planet
off.
shit. We got it.
We have to get
Okay.
off.
And stop calling them
Insects.
water bugs. That's
I know.
not a water
It's a
bug.
roach.
That's a
Fucking
straight up roach.
It's a fucking.
It's a roach.
We've deemed it. It's a roach.
And
We're
clean
done.
your house.
Your house done got to be dirty for no damn roach
okay,
shit.
I'm
no.
just
It could be the
kidding.
neighbors. It could be the neighbors.
And it's hot, the heat.
Now
and
those
everything.
if it's a kitchen roach, those little ones,
Yeah, then
you
you're
dirty.
dirty. You're dirty.
You dirty.
So clean yourself. All right, so we have some questions to ask Lupe because we have some.
we
We'd
do.
like to kind of get to know our guests. We've talked a lot. We know each other very well, but we want you to
here we
know
go.
Lupe.
I'm nervous.
So, Gina, I'm going to let you ask some questions.
Okay, so Lupe, we were talking earlier because me, Texas, Lupe, and Texas's partner Aaron, we're having a slumber party tonight.
We are.
And so we all met at Texas's house earlier, but we were talking about Texas and I both work Sundays. He does happy hour. I do a mid shift, so it's my longest shift of the week. It's 5 to
Mine too.
It's 5 p.m. to close.
Mine's 2 to 9.
Yeah, so you have a long shift. I have a really, really long shift. And me and Texas were just like swapping stories back and forth. And one of the stories that we were talking about was a follow-up from last week and a whole water situation. Have you ever bartended?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you've bartended. How do you feel about people asking you for water? And then my follow-up question is from actually one of our longtime viewers that texts me and asks me, do bartenders care if people want a non-alcoholic drink? So how do you feel about people asking
but first,
for water?
let's say where did he bartend?
Oh yeah,
Right, 'cause
where'd you
that makes a
bartend?
difference.
It does, because like I say, because it makes a difference. It
does.
It absolutely does.
Restaurant bartenders are
Thank
different
you.
from speed bartenders,
Yes.
and speed
'Cause
bartenders.
We're in a bar. We're in a cocktail
Right.
bar
Right.
lounge.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
speed
food and shit.
bartenders are also different from mixologists. You
Yeah.
do not ask a speed bartender for a mojito. We're not gonna pop mint
Slap
and
it on your
shit.
ass.
We don't typically muddle. Now, if you get a good speed bartender on a slow day, we love experimenting. We love playing with shit.
Yeah.
We'll do it. But when we are serving 600 to 900 drinks in a shift, that's a lot, and we don't typically do craft cocktails. So there's a difference between a craft cocktail,
Yeah.
speed, all that
So
kind of
where
shit.
did you
So
work?
where'd you bartend?
So I was the guy who muddled. I worked at Waterloo Ice House in Circle C, so
Ooh,
shout out to Waterloo Ice
tasty.
House.
Shout out to Waterloo.
Waterloo, do they own Waterloo the
Records?
sparkling drink?
The water?
No, I don't think that's that.
That shit's good.
Oh, it's good, right?
I had the
and not
strawberry
Waterloo
today.
Records either. We would have people calling for tickets at our restaurant.
Did you really? I mean,
I'm
that would
like,
be a
we
common
don't got
mistake.
tickets to-
That'd be a common mistake.
Yeah,
okay.
it was.
So Waterloo, you worked
So
at
I
Waterloo.
worked at Waterloo
And it's
for
an ice house? Is
Yeah,
it?
Waterloo Ice House
Okay.
in Escarpment, Circle C area, and I just slang drinks out there for like 8 years, 7.5, 8 years.
And when you say ice house, do they serve food?
It's a restaurant. Like you can bring your family there. They got a playground there. But they have. The bar was neighborhood, so you came in, you'd see them every single day, same people. Like it was a neighborhood bar.
Okay.
I've been there before. It's like really good.
I have
Yeah.
two. I have two.
And there's like a big playground in the back.
Yeah, it's all them kids running around. I don't play that either. But
that sounds like
I
an
was in the-
absolute nightmare
Yeah,
for me.
sometimes it was crazy.
personally, but
Yeah.
good for you, girl.
The water thing. Wait, was it the water question?
Yeah,
you
water
asked?
question.
Yeah, let's do the water
The
question
water thing,
first.
I didn't. Okay, I rolled my eyes when I said yes. I'd be like, oh, water. Okay, cool. And there I am pouring the water, which wasn't a big problem. That was fun. But you're a restaurant, so that's what you do first. I
That's
hate
true.
though when people go, I want a coffee, I want an orange juice, I want a water, and I want all them liquids. You're gonna drink all them drinks. So
I
that
feel
got on my
bad
nerves.
because that's me. I always want a tea.
I
and
get
a
it.
got on my
water.
nerves
Yeah,
sometimes.
no.
Do I get on your nerves? I'm like,
Oh my God.
I always
go.
want coffee, water with lemon,
Yes, yes.
less ice.
I go. I want a tea and I want
Extra
a water,
lemons.
extra lemon.
oh my goodness.
That's what I want because let me tell you why. I like to drink my tea, but then I usually don't get a refill of my tea. I usually try to drink water instead.
And let me tell you something, y'all. I go, can I have one of your lemons? And then it's like, I did something.
I don't share my lemons.
Anyway, water, doesn't bother me. I would have rolled my eyes, but, it's the restaurant, so you got to give water. But anyway.
Well, for me, and I'll answer that question. Like, for instance, if I'm super busy, and we have water stations all around our bar, because it's hot. We work in Texas. There's always going to be someone that needs a water, and I cannot stand when it's someone that walks up to you and looks like they've been running through the desert. They're fucking dying. I need a water, and you're like, no, baby, you need to go home.
Whatever you were doing,
calm down. Whatever you're doing on the dance floor or
and
in the restroom.
What? I'm gonna say this, and I can say this, and nobody can't say shit to me. But it's always some big girl that just got off the dance floor.
That's what I'm saying.
And she's
I'm like,
sweaty, and she wants to lean over.
You're
Get that baby some water.
And I'm like, okay,
I want to just give a shot glass of it and see if that's enough for her.
I've done that before.
But
and
I'm
I
telling
put
you,
a piece of ice in.
I don't mind giving it, but it just bothers me because we have water stations. We have them for a reason. Use the water station. If you are in a bar, look around and find the water station. There's probably one right next to you, and you didn't even see it. So last night, this guy was being kind of a diva, and he was one of the guys who was ordering like 50 shots and drinks in a row, doing things, and he wanted waters. And I said, hey, if you want, there's bottled waters. I said, but water's gonna take me a while to make all of y'all water. I said, I got a lot of people here. There's a station behind me. I don't want a small glass. I want a big glass. He wanted these type of glasses. So I made him one at a time, and I would take care of all the other guests. Because we were busy yesterday. The busiest happy hour I've had in a very, very long time. And when I say busy, I'm talking Texas was running in circles. So I didn't have time to make your water when you could have gone right here and made your own waters and been fine. So he had to learn that, like, I'm not going to do a water for you if I have other paying guests. I'm like, you just calm down. So it was kind of an interesting situation. He wasn't very happy with me, but hey, what are you gonna do? So I don't hate it, but if you're nice about it, or if you throw extra money out or whatever, because there are some people that will come up and I know who they are. They come in, they don't drink a lot, and so they'll come in and they'll order a water and they'll throw a $5 bill down. Baby girl, you're gonna have a water the minute I see you walk in my bar. Yeah. You'll have a water ready for you because you tipped.
Okay,
first.
well that moves into the second question for you. Do you mind when people ask for like non-alcoholic drinks at a bar? Like, I know a new thing now is sober people or people that have never drank come to bars. They're still social.
We have one Doria in here who doesn't drink. He's never drank ever, and he's a bartender.
He's never drank.
He's never drank a day in his life.
Ever. And so there's a new movement like with our healthiness and people swearing that being healthy is going to help you live longer and all that stuff.
I'm for it. I think it's great.
So you think it's great? Like, does that bother you?
I didn't mind it back. I didn't mind it when I bartended. I was even like afraid that I would accidentally give like something that was alcoholic or accidentally like mix them up because like what is it, like the St. Paul or whatever? It looks like a Dos Equis kind of. They're both green.
And they're very
like,
just being cognizant.
So I don't mind it. It's like for them anyway too. I would just feel like, are they having fun? Are they good? Which you're always gonna have fun. You're just kind of getting a non-alcoholic beer. It's not
I think for me,
if they're tipping and stuff and still doing all that,
I don't care.
We good.
Yeah, you know what? Like I think tipping comes with service. Right, you know what I mean? Like I think because it's a job thing. But as far as somebody asking for non-alcoholic, I have several regulars that come in, and they're like, "Make me a drink." Just no alcohol. And, I get to play with sodas and juices. And for me, I just use it as a time to help me with my craft.
Yeah.
Because,
I think
there's
fun
certain alcohols that you can add that will make it better, like for somebody that wants alcohol. But, like, cherry limeades are a really good one that I make for people.
I make a really good, an OPC, orange pineapple cranberry.
Oh, yeah.
With a little splash of, like, either grenadine, and then you can do, like, some lime juice.
I'll do a Madras with grenadine, which
or
is...
like a mocktail. You can do, like, your mocktails.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what they all are.
Yeah.
So I think the answer in general is no. I think that non-alcohol, as long as everything has to do with you not being a fucking asshole. Like if you're an asshole, we don't want to deal with you.
I mean, some of us like assholes.
If you're real nice and come in, I want a non-alcoholic beer. I'm like, yeah, baby, I got you.
Well, there's borderline. Like I have a group of guys that come in every Sunday. The main one that orders and he starts the order, he's an asshole. But he's so sweet. He hugs me. We do our banter, and he's an asshole about it. And then you have people that are just rude from the top because you can't hear them because the bar is loud, because they have an accent, whatever it is. And they get an attitude. And when you go, what'd you say? They're like really rude. And then you're like, okay. And then you have people that know that middle, and they're usually service industry people that know when your bar is full, and while you're swiping the credit card and grabbing the receipt, they can be like, hey, 2 shots of blah blah blah, and you just kind of nod and you get them in. So there's all these middles.
I think it's kind of, I think
It's a song and
interesting.
dance.
I think it's very interesting to see how sometimes when you know, you can tell the minute, and you may not even know who this person is, but when they walk in the door, that they are fucking service industry. You can tell. And it's usually the people like at restaurants who like, they're the ones stacking all their dishes and like cleaning up their mess. Cause like, oh my God, I spilled queso on your table. And they're like, you know, they're nervous because they're trying to clean. And I think that everybody, again, we talk about this a lot, should work in service industry at least once in their life so that they can actually understand what it's like to not leave a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Not make, not knock over drinks. Like do people do this at your bar at Crocker? People with, we serve some beers in cans. People will crunch the can and throw it on my bar top when they're done. I've seen it multiple times. And I've seen it not even with just me as a bartender, but like other bartenders. And I'm like, because we also sell, White Claws, and they'll do that. And I'm like, is that a thing? How fucking rude is that?
It is a thing, and I don't think it's rude. I think it's rude. It depends, because I'm okay as long as you don't throw shit at me. But I have this one guy, he works in the emergency rooms, and he comes in, he gets the same thing every time. And he takes his water, and when he's like done, he like sucks it into this little and crunches it and shit, and then rolls it.
That sounds nasty.
And he just throws it on my mat.
He throws what on the mat?
The crunched up water bottle. And he's not rude about it. It's
so
just
he sucks the water bottle in?
Like he sucks the water in, and you know what I mean? Like the little bottle, like it's made out of like a pellet of plastic. You just squeeze it down. And so, but I have heard before.
I'm so confused.
I heard before that people that do that and people that peel the tips of their beers are sexually frustrated. So I'm just like, oh. But he tips me well, so I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Like I'm like, cool.
But if you're throwing things on the bar floor, what's your house look like?
But he never does it when it's busy.
Okay.
And when it's busy, he stands in the back, and he looks at me, and I go, and he goes, and I give him his shit, and he hands me his card.
Okay.
And so established relationships are everything.
Yeah.
Because there's a new bar that I'm thinking about going to in Houston. Like I want to be popular there so bad.
Like, are you gonna go there as a patron?
A patron.
A patron.
A patron.
Okay.
And I'm like, I need to go invest my time and go to the happy hours and do all that shit. It's a thing.
No, as a bartender, and we do have people that ask a lot of questions about, what it's like to be a bartender and how to be a good one. You have to actually put the effort in and know your community. Go out to the bars next door. Go say hi to the bartenders next door. Get a drink, get a shot. Even if you don't drink, like my friend Doria, who's not on, but he will be eventually. He doesn't drink, but he goes out to all the bars and has a good time and tips the bartenders, and they know who he is. And you have to do that. So it's like you have to kind of do your due diligence and actually make a presence for yourself and make yourself known. Otherwise, why the hell does anyone want to come to see you?
Even in the Circle C. Shout out Backspin. Shout out Detour.
Yeah. I mean, so anyways, that's kind of like what I think too. I'm going to end this real fast. It's going live. Sorry. And now. I think that, it's all about kind of like being in that, and, working with the industry and working with what you have and knowing what to do and how to do it right. So, that's what I want to think about that.
I wasn't bad in that little restaurant. I wasn't bad.
How long did you bartend?
Like 7.5, 8 years.
7.5 years.
It's a long time.
It's a lot different from what y'all do.
Like, what do you do now?
Because because I see like what y'all do and how y'all handle it and stuff like that. I could never handle it like that. Like it's a restaurant. Like it's like you're supposed to do the restaurant thing before the bartending thing. You know what I mean? So
I think it's vice versa. I think it's a mutual respect, because I always have people that bartend at restaurants or serve at restaurants, and they're like, I don't know how you do this. And for me, I'm like, bitch, I can't take an order.
I've done both.
I can't do the food.
Never be food ever again. Never do food again because I just can't do it, because I can't remember if someone wants to have this cut in half, or
medium
they don't want this, or they want that,
an
or they want a
plate,
flour tortilla versus. I can't remember any of that shit. But I remember everybody's drink in the entire bar and their shot and what they had last week. It's crazy.
And what they tipped.
Yep.
Like that. You remember that too.
So what do you do now? You're not in service anymore?
I am not. I work at a law office in Westlake.
Okay.
So I'm just there being an office manager, it's totally different from, of course, bartending and stuff like
I
that.
don't think it is.
But
Can I disagree with you?
You're right, because I
Okay.
do serve, mediations get set up, I still like...
You
they come in.
multitask and you handle a lot of people.
And people wanting this, people wanting that, email this, mediation letters that, like, so it gets kind of, you're right, because I do see...
I love that you
multitasking.
say that because I think that individually, Texas and I, and maybe you even when you were bartending, I've been offered jobs as a personal banker. I've been offered jobs as a flight attendant.
Right.
People said, why aren't you a teacher? Like all these jobs that people find are things that we can do because we bartend.
It's like it's a different atmosphere, but the idea is the same of
The
like
idea is the same.
providing that service to like people. So yeah, I get you. It's the same. You're right. And sometimes when I pull a can of soda out, I still feel like I want to like,
You like
flip it with the key and stuff like that and open it. I'm like,
Do you feel naked without a bar key?
Sometimes, but
Because I'm going to tell you, I always feel naked without my bar key because I always feel like I should have it on. And if you don't know what a bar key is, it's just what we open our beers with. I don't have
hold
it
on.
on me now.
David,
oh,
can
I
you get the bar key from the bartender real quick so we can show? Yeah, just ask him for his bar key. He'll know what it is.
Yeah, because if you don't know what a bar key is, and
We wanna show
I
you.
usually have one, and I have them all over the house too.
I
Like,
usually
there's-
have one in my purse.
There's usually one, and I don't know where. I think one might be in my bag actually. But
I think
one in my coat.
I think I have one in my purse too.
this is what a bar key is.
Okay, so a bar key is this, right? And typically bartenders leave it in their back pockets. Some people put it here, and some
couldn't
chicks
do that.
put it here, and you flip the beer with it, and you pick up beers with it, and it's like our personal tool.
You know what
We
I like
hit
to,
people with it.
Yes, I like to poke people with it.
I
When they're
tap
not-
people
when they're not
when I
paying
can't
atten-
reach
When they're not paying
them.
attention to me, yes. If I'm across the bar and someone has walked up to my bar and then they're just standing there, talk with their back to me, and I'm like ready to serve them, I go.
yeah.
You know what?
So that's what I do.
It reminds me of a teaching stick. When back in the day, teachers
Yes.
read the board.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I
But
hate it when Texas had the shaker and you knock the
Oh
shaker
yeah.
with it.
When
We
someone's
use it to
annoying me,
clap.
I will hit the bartend
Yeah.
with this right here. I will also do this a lot too. If someone's annoying me, I do this a lot.
With nails.
I do that when people are talking
gotta
shit.
get it.
Like,
Oh, you doing a manicure.
I tend to do that a lot. I'm like, okay, you're literally boring me, and I'm over your story. or
yeah, I
over
do when
this.
people are talking shit. So these are our friends. Some bartenders collect them. It's a great gift for bartenders. We never can have
Oh
enough.
yeah, if you have a bartender that you love, buy them.
Buy
with
them a
me.
bar key.
You could customize.
We
them.
could
You
have 500 of them and we don't
and
care,
we still
right?
want more.
Yeah.
I have one that I've had for probably 10 years, maybe even longer than that my coworker bought for me, and it's like red and it's got glitter on it, and because he knows I love red glitter, and it's like just chipped and gross, and that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
And I thought I lost it for like a year because it was just like in a bag somewhere in my
It's always in a bag.
and I
It's always
found
in a
it
fucking
And I
bag.
was like, oh my god, my bar keys. I was so excited, and it's my favorite one. So
Yeah, no, the
buy
owner-
your bartender a bar key.
Yeah,
They will
the
love
owner
you.
of Crocker this year for Christmas bought us 2 bar keys. One was like custom made with like heavy like industrial metal still, and it was like our names etched in it with the state of
that's
Texas on
nice.
top. And it's one of those ones you can't really use because it's so heavy and it like actually hurts. And then he got us a dog bone one. So this is a regular dog bone like dips in the middle. He got us a dog bone one
I love
that is
it.
like a really good balance and it has our name on it. So like it's always a good like, yeah, Dorian, good. We need to have you on the show.
Oh,
Can't wait.
he's going to be. He's going to be.
I can't wait.
Timing with him because he's busy. He's busy.
He's
too,
a busy
yeah.
man.
He does a lot of
I can't
our
believe he's
stuff,
here
so
right
yeah.
now. Oh
I
my
know. I'm
God.
excited.
Here,
So
thank you.
we like to go into In the Weeds. Thank you so much, Daniel,
Thank you,
for
David.
letting us show people what that is. We like to go to do
In the Weeds. We
segments
like
about
In
In
the
the
Weeds,
Weeds
yes.
every so often. I'm looking for a good one right now because In the Weeds is actually how, and we'll talk about our last show again because we want to plug CJ Morgan. CJ Morgan is on 101X, and he does a show called Restaurant Rants. It's on Friday nights, and his episode will be out coming up very, I think it's actually, I'm going to download it tonight.
Yeah, download that one
he was
and
talking
Aaron's
about- That's how
tonight.
we got on 101X to do our little talk and kind of show.
Yeah, we were on the radio.
I didn't even know y'all
And-
did that.
Yeah, we were on
because
101X with CJ Morgan.
Yeah, we met with him, and I contacted him and was like, hey, I was like, I love your Restaurant Rants segment. Would love to have you on the show. He was kind enough to be on our show, and then we were kind enough to go to his show. So it was kind of like this cute
okay.
thing. So that's how we met. So
Okay.
In the Weeds is on Facebook, and it's a closed group, but it's all about service industry people, and they post all kinds of stuff like people not tipping, people being
So
crazy.
while you're looking, I have a question for Lupe.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for one real fast.
So our whole theme for season 2 is this whole people that are in the service industry or have been it and have successfully like migrated out of it and are doing other things now. But one thing I like to ask people is like, what's the thing you miss most about being in the service industry, slinging drinks, dealing with people on that level?
And I'm gonna tell you this, I miss it all.
Okay.
All of it. I miss the
Really?
money. I miss it all. Like
Okay.
I was every day, not every day, but I'm like, man, I made so much money, had so
And
much
it's
fun,
cash.
had
It's
the
the cash.
best schedule. When everybody's like working Monday and Tuesday, I
You're
was
chilling.
off. And mine was a restaurant bar, like I keep saying, but it was like closed at midnight, so we'd get off at like 12:30, then hit up the backspin, detour, like. It was legit. It was like Guadalupe Ice House Escarpment. That was the best job. That was the best job I ever had. So
Yeah.
I miss all the aspects of it. Just
Okay.
the things that are annoying, so you don't miss those things, of course. But I miss a lot of it. I miss the schedule, of course. Like I said, the money and people I met, the friends I still have. Still have friends there. Still go there like at least twice a month.
Yeah,
2 or 3
I'd
times a
say
month.
some of your good friends are actually still
Yeah,
managers.
you know Amy, you know Leanna.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I get it. Yeah, we all, if you're in the service industry, we kind of all become like a weird family, as it were, because we all kind of stick around together. And,
Yeah.
and a lot of times when you're at a job for 7+ years, like me, I was at Rain for over 10 years, now back with the company again for almost a year. And it's crazy that we all kind of know each other and get to hang out. And we do actually become like a little family.
And
So
they know your mamas, they know your sisters.
they'll be the
they
ones
come-
that will help you, pick you up from jail, pick you up from...
Find out you're in jail first, bitch. Find out you're in jail.
They will look and
They will
investigate.
bring you food from if you've been at the hospital.
Okay.
They'll do all
yeah,
kinds of
so
yeah.
just thinking about that, what is one of those cool, random service industry bar family moments that you can remember that just is like outside of the drinking and all that kind of stuff that you just, it always just fucking touches your heart?
I think right now a personal one is one of my good dear friends is battling cancer, and literally everybody that we know that we used to work with together, and this is Scott. I worked at this restaurant back when I was 27, so over like 13 years ago. And working with this woman, and she's again battling cancer, how many people have had the outpouring of people that have supported her to help donate money, donate their time. I've been so happy to see that there are people that actually that haven't even worked with her for years, but like love her so much as a person and a human being, that they're still willing to help and willing to do things, whether it's like I've volunteered to cook dinner for her because, you know, I don't want her having to worry about food when she goes home, and be like, hey, these are things that you can freeze.
What'd you
and
cook?
eat.
What'd you cook?
She's on a very limited diet, so I got to find out what she can eat first. But baby girl, yes, absolutely, I will be cooking some food for her and sending that over there and dropping it off and saying hi and saying, hey, that way you just don't have to worry about cooking, and I will do that every week until she's better if I have to.
That's dope.
But that's what we do when we're in this industry. We
Right.
take care of people.
Absolutely.
So that's
And be there. You
yeah,
just
I think
be
that's
there for
one right now that's really kind of hitting me is that, you know, that's something that's happening right now with a lot of my friends, is they're coming together to help this person. So
Lupe, how about you? What's one of those moments that like really touches you outside of us all drinking
Right.
and partying together and doing all that kind of stuff that like is the service industry's family that always just astounds you and
Right.
it's crazy?
I'm not trying to get Debbie Downer.
No, it doesn't have to
no,
be
it's okay.
down. It's just real.
Recently, January actually. So I said, you go visit the other places, right? You go visit the other places. So, of course, shout out Backspin again, Circle C. My friend Brooklyn Yoakum, she was unexpectedly in a accident and passed away.
Oh,
and
no.
so I saw everybody who I used 8 years ago. I mean, it's been a while. And I saw everybody who was there at, you know, they all came together in that little Circle C family of like
That's so
bars and
sad.
stuff like that. But it was like cool. You know what I mean? It's like, and everybody was like, she was just like somebody that couldn't be replaced. She
Yeah.
knew it. She was like in the industry
that's
for a while. And
horrible.
other people like my past manager, Amy. I mean, I went to her wedding, you know. She's had 2
Yeah.
kids since we've been friends, you know. So a couple of those things, that really sticks with me, you know. Like
Yeah.
the important things where you're
Yeah.
like, oh, we're not just like patrons.
We're not
or like,
friends.
we are
and you're not
We're
just
not colleagues,
you're not
we're
just
family.
coworkers either.
Right.
It's like a lot of
It gets
people.
past
a lot
that.
of people have jobs where you just go in and you're just working. and it's just a mindless job.
Yeah.
We actually form bonds, and
It gets past that.
we go to homes, and we go to each other's homes and houses and apartments, and kids are that people have kids and shit. And you see them growing up, and you're like, you're their uncle or you're their aunt. It's weird, but you do become this family, and it's actually really cool.
Yeah, I guess.
What about you?
Yeah, so mine, outside of the drinking and partying and everything else. So a lot of people know my best friend is Miguel. Like one of my really, really best friends is Miguel.
Sunday. I was
and
so
he's
excited.
one of the baddest bar backs that has ever
He
crossed
is. Shout out Miguel.
4th Street ever. We need to have him on the show soon.
I love him. He's amazing.
But Miguel has always been there for me, and so it was really an honor when the hurricane and the flood in Puerto Rico came through, and his family lives in Puerto Rico. He's Puerto Rican, and as we know, a lot of companies gouged prices and did all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I think it cost him like $1,400 one way to fly. And we were all supposed to go that year to Puerto Rico, but instead we gave our money to him so he could get home. Like we were just like, boom.
Yeah, because you don't even
Didn't even think about it.
Yeah, no.
And that's
like
the
I was
thing.
like, $400, it's already gone. $500, already gone. $1,000, already gone. So we gave him the money, and he flew home, and he was able to help his family. And we, he packed his bags with everything that we could because
just because they needed everything.
UPS, FedEx, all of them were charging ridiculous prices for everything. So anyway, so like that's one of those moments that I remember, like just service industry and family. I'm like, God, if I never worked at Oil Can Harry's back in the day and met this little mean ass, bald-headed Puerto Rican dude
He's hilarious.
would play like he couldn't speak English because he didn't want to talk to customers.
He does. And you know what's
He
funny?
would be like, hey.
He told me he was afraid to bar back for me. I've said this before, I think, on one of the shows.
Yeah, you told me.
But he was afraid to bar back for me because he heard I was a bitch. But I was like, just give me my ice and my fruit, I'm fine. So anyway, And I've gotten a little bit easier to work with, I think, maybe, as I've gotten older. I don't know, maybe I've gotten worse, but
I feel like in my
okay.
second rendition of bartending, because I stepped away for maybe a year and a half, 2-ish.
Yeah.
Right after you did.
Yeah.
I feel like my second rendition is just like Scott Hill told me, because Scott Hill left, he went to nursing school, he couldn't stand the blood. He comes back.
Imagine that, nursing.
Yeah, he was like, I can't do it. He's a bleeding heart.
He's so sweet.
Yeah, I love him.
He's been on the show. Check out his episode.
Yeah.
I think episode 2.
But he literally told me, he was like, it's just different the second time. Like,
It really is.
you care about stuff differently and less, and shit enrages you differently. And now that I'm on the other side of it, he is right.
Nope.
There's some shit I'm like,
Things that would have pissed me off when I first was bartending, like when I was younger, before I got out of it for almost 5 years, now don't piss me off, but the weird things do. Like, segue into In the Weeds. I found one. So, so we found one. It was good. A lot of it was just bitching, which is great because that's what In the Weeds is. But this is post your weirdest tickets. So if you don't know what a ticket is, I worked in a restaurant bar too as well, where we had to put in tickets to get drinks. So cocktail waitresses would type in like bourbon and Coke with a splash of whatever, and they would have to. So that kind of segues into like just weird orders or fucked up drinks. What's one of the weirdest things that anyone's ever ordered in your bar? Because I've got a few, and it even happens like, or when people order things fucked up, when they order things weird. Like even if you say this to me, if you say vodka cranberry, if you say cranberry vodka or something,
throws us
sometimes
off.
throws me off a little bit. Or when people will say this to me, I want a vodka soda with a splash of cranberry and a lime. That's so much. Order a fucking Rose Kennedy.
Yeah.
It's called a Rose Kennedy. If you didn't know what that was, now you do.
Equivalent is learning the state song, like all the states,
Yeah.
and somebody asking you to do that in another order.
Yeah.
It's equivalent
so
how we
weird.
learn how to
So
make
when,
drinks.
When people ask for one guy was like, I want a vodka soda. Even yesterday, he was like, I want a vodka soda and with a lime. And I was like, just the way he said it was like a pause. And I was like, did you want what? And it's just like learning how to order right. So what's
it's like
one of the weirdest
singing our
things?
song. One of the weird. Okay, so my people in Houston get so creative.
Oh no.
So
I'm
currently,
nervous.
right now, last night, I made a vodka cranberry with a tahine rim.
A what?
Tahine?
Mesquite.
I know. Were they?
No, Crocker just runs through a shit ton of tahine because we like it.
If you know
And
what
so,
tahine is, explain tahine.
Tahine is like a chili, like
It's
salty.
Cajun.
Cajun. Oh, girl.
You should get it.
It's delicious.
It's a Texas
really
thing.
good on beers. It's really
Everything.
It's good. It's good.
And,
but it's kind of got this like kind of peppery
yeah,
spice
and in
to it.
Houston at Crocker Bar, black, white, Mexican, Asian, it don't matter who you are, you put tahini on shit.
Okay.
And so we had that, and then the other one, and I don't know if this is my fault or not, and I don't want to take claim for it because Travis will get really mad later. We'll have him on the show.
Okay.
Hennessy margaritas.
Hennessy margarita. Okay, explain that to me.
It's a,
Chow, what is that?
Have you
I
heard
get
of
it,
this?
though. You
A
just put
Hennessy
sweet and
margarita,
sour
no?
with it, shake it up.
and I'm sorry to every bartender that other people watch it. Don't order that shit.
We don't.
Hennessy. Oh yeah. So
It's a cognac.
a lot of bars don't order Hennessy because it's a black people thing, and they want to. It's a thing.
You went there.
No, I did because
You went
it's
there.
we're real. But we have
Okay.
Hennessy at our bar, and Hennessy margaritas, and
What the fuck do you? So explain making
instead of
this.
tequila Hennessy.
switch it
So you
out?
just, okay, I was like, did you switch out the
And
triple sec
I'll
or
say
what?
this. It's actually not that bad. I
Okay.
don't like mixed drinks, so I'm not going to do it, but it's not that bad.
Okay.
And then the other one was like this Hennessy with champagne and a little bit of like simple syrup.
Did they describe it like that when they ordered it, though? Because I would have got annoyed.
No.
Okay.
It was a thing. But Hennessy margaritas and vodka cranberries with tahini have been the two most interesting
weird.
drinks
That's
that I've
weird.
been making. And the Hennessy margarita is like a $10 to $11 drink.
So wow, that's crazy. Well, good for you. I've got two, but
Okay, go.
I want
Lupe, go first.
you to go
I don't
first.
have one,
What-
though.
So you worked at Waterloo for 7 years. You have to have had some person that asked for something crazy in your bar.
They asked for it crazy, but they didn't ask. I mean, there wasn't the crazy, because we had crazy drinks on the menu anyway. Like, I don't know.
You don't have one that
Give
was-
me a minute. I may
Okay,
think. I'm
Okay.
trying to go
I've got
through
two.
it.
One was one is because this guy still comes in here. He's a regular, I guess you could say. But he orders his drink. He wants a vodka cranberry single tall with a lime squeeze.
Hold on, let me write that down.
Vodka cranberry single tall with a lime squeeze, and he doesn't want you with a splash of soda at the top. A splash of soda at the top. So cranberry, splash of soda, and he doesn't want me to put the straw in it. He wants me to shake it first and then give it to him. Yes,
I'm
I
gonna
said
go-
that.
you're gonna have to go to Chili's
Let
with
me
that.
repeat this again. A single tall vodka cranberry with a splash of soda with a lime, shaken.
And go to Chili's. You need to go to Chili's.
You know who it is? You know who it is? He does. So, all right, so Doria in the crowd knows who I'm talking about. What the fuck does that matter if I shake it or not?
Okay.
It's the suds in it, right?
Okay,
Right.
I have a question. But as a speed bartender, do you prefer somebody that's like, I want a lemon drop martini in a 9-ounce glass with a sugar rim?
Well, if you say
Done.
9 ounce to me, I'm not going to know what the fuck that is. Is it the middle one? I don't know what that is.
But you know what I mean.
A Collins?
You prefer somebody more specific
I do want someone specific,
than somebody
yes.
that's flighty and floaty.
But I think when it's stupid, then that's not for
Well,
me.
they had their heart set.
I don't
so-
think money's stupid.
Because I think it's stupid as fuck. Because I'm not. If I shake your drink, what does that matter if I don't just do this with the straw?
And it had
It
soda
does,
in
no,
it?
no, no, it makes a difference.
I don't
Because
know. It doesn't.
Soda fizzy, you shake it and it dies down, but you still have the bubbles. It is important.
I don't care.
Texas.
I don't care.
It's
So,
important.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't like flat
Well,
soda.
we gotta finish up, so we need to get his.
I had one more though too.
Hurry up,
One
Jeff.
more
Come on,
because when I worked at Hula Hut, that's okay. When I worked at Hula Hut, people would ask for Miami Vices, which was and this is the worst drink ever. It's a blended drink. You have to make a small version of like half of your drink. It would be like in this size glass. A half of your drink would be pina colada. Half your drink would be strawberry daiquiri. So you'd have to make those, and then you'd have to spin it.
Oh, that is.
I would
18
get those
minutes.
all the time. And if one person ordered one,
Everybody will start ordering
would
it.
order a
I hate
Miami
that.
Vice, and I wanted to fucking
And
die
that's
by the
what
end of the
happens
night.
with me and Hennessy margaritas. They're like, what's that?
It would be the
And I'm like,
worst,
no.
worst thing in the world would be to have to make one of those. Because if I knew that blender turned on, the minute the blender was turned on once in your shift,
And people
you
are
knew
like-
everyone would hear that, and they would go,
I gotta say
"Ooh,
something. I gotta
Okay,
say
go,
that.
go,
Bring
go,
one
go,
up.
go,
Did you bring
go,
one
go.
up? No, you didn't bring one up. But one thing about Guadalupe Ice House, we ain't got a blender. So we would always say, I would like a pina colada. No, not today.
One girl, she
You can have a strawberry margarita.
Exactly. One girl, she's like, I want a mojito. I said, we don't make those. We don't make that.
They go, I see that muddler over there.
Oh,
We don't have that.
No, there's
I'll
no,
go throw it in the trash.
Thank you. I've thrown a lot of things in the trash away. I can admit this now. Talking about throwing things away, I can admit this now because I don't work there anymore, but I did work at this restaurant where, if you know what a jigger is, it's what measures the alcohol. It's a little silver, like a shot glass thing. And we never, bartenders don't like to use those, okay? Because we're busy.
It's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful. We know how to count. But my manager was getting mad at our liquor costs.
So they give
he
us
was like,
the
"You're
jigger.
overboard."
They give
gave
it
us
to
the
us.
jigger, and I was the hero that shift. I got to work. I opened the bar. I went to all 3 bars, got all the
Threw that
jiggers,
shit away.
and threw them in the trash. I threw them motherfuckers in the trash. I did. And
I believe it.
I texted 2 of my friends who were openers too. So I was like, when you get there, the jiggers won't be here. And it was like emojis of like,
The jig is
and they were
out.
like, what happened? I go, I'll tell you when you get here. And I'm going to tell you, the bar manager actually knew that one of us did it.
Didn't say
but
shit.
he didn't know who it was, but he couldn't pin it on anybody, but we were all badass bartenders, so he couldn't yell at anybody, but it was really funny because I did it. I got rid of
now
them.
you can admit it. You
I
did
can
it.
admit it
Of
now.
course you
It's
did.
been since 2007 since I worked there. I think I'm okay.
But you know what? Okay, so we all have staff meetings as speed bartenders at these bars, especially if it's just a bar. When we have staff meetings, about every 6 to 8 months, you get a reset. And the reset is stop pouring so heavy, watch your pours,
We all
blah,
get
blah,
a
blah,
slap
blah.
on the wrist. We do.
And the number one threat is don't make us pull the jiggers out to like start. They do that, and you're like,
That's like when your dad pulls your belt out.
yeah,
When he
like
pulls
don't
the
make
belt
me
out.
spank you. And you're like, you don't want to pre-measure because the pride of a bartender is we have a perfect pour, and then we know our shitty
We
pour.
had a test. We had a test one. Like,
Oh,
it was a
we've had a test
contraption with
before.
tubes in it, and the front is blocked off, so you
And you're
can't see.
supposed to-
And you pour
No.
it, and you count it, and you
and
about
you
to
stop. You
Yeah.
either overpour or it's like it just, and you see it leaking out the bottom.
My friend worked at a bar that literally had a jigger on a necklace. And,
Oh,
and
no.
if you didn't know how to pour, they would make you wear the necklace with the jigger on it. No lie, and every bartender would be like, they would be so scared to not pour right because they didn't want to wear
I don't
that.
wanna go to work.
But how about in the north?
I would have had to quit. I would have had to quit my job because I'd have been like 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 7. Ooh, it looks shiny.
Overpour,
10.
overpour,
I'm like,
overpour.
oh no, it's over.
But in the north, and we sound so country. We're like in the north over here.
In Dallas?
No, like I think it was Chicago. You know, they pour and the thing stops.
Oh, it's the airport thing.
And then you always see, if you ever see a bartender like pop it, it's because they have those disrespectful like
Yeah.
things on them. And then
They do
they're
that in New Orleans.
Yeah, and then some bars,
Yeah.
the bottles have weights on them. So when you like set the bottle down and
They
you
can
pick it up,
measure.
you set it back down, it measures how
Ugh.
much you poured.
I'm so glad I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, and so
Too much.
you need to
I
be
wouldn't do it.
appreciative.
I'd be like every drink.
Yeah,
I'd
no.
be like so nervous.
Yeah, and I always tell people, y'all just don't know because when people are like pour heavy, I'm like, you just don't understand. We do pour well.
We work in a gay bar, baby. Everything's heavy.
We pour
so just
so
know
well,
that.
and just be
don't
glad.
tell your bartender and make it strong because bitch, I'm gonna make it weak as fuck because that's being rude and disrespectful, and I don't want you to come back to me again.
You know what I
will
say?
I like to break up with people that are stupid early, and I say break up because we have relationships with our patrons. We do.
We
They
do.
come back in. They're like they're
Several
friends. They're
relationships.
relationships, and sometimes I don't want that relationship. So if you're gonna ask for something stupid, go to the next one.
You know what I say? When people are like, do you know how to pour a drink? I'm like, you literally just stood here for 10 minutes and watched me make all these people's drinks.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will say this happened yesterday too. A guy came in and he was upset about his margarita because he said, I have a specific way to make a margarita. And he, I guess, was in service industry. He asked a bartender and the bartender didn't make it. He goes, let me make my margarita and see if you like it. You know who I'm talking about. Anyways, so it happened and I felt really bad because I was like, oh no.
See y'all shady over here.
Okay.
I'll tell y'all. I'll tell it too.
Sometimes we fuck up and we think we make things right, and then maybe we don't like them. So sometimes if you got a crazy ass specific order, I may be okay with it, but not if I'm busy. Not
Never
if I'm busy.
if you're busy.
If you're busy,
You come during
don't.
slow
No,
times.
you could get a beer. Shut up. Bye. You're good.
So we have.
You can have a cup.
So we have the Gilded
Anything
Geeks.
else?
She tried to fight me.
We have the Gilded Geeks waiting.
We
in
do,
the
we do.
house.
Guys, we have Holly in the house. Is Holly in the house?
Is Holly here?
Do we have Holly in the house? Do we see her?
I don't know.
I can't tell.
Yeah,
We
she
have-
might be.
We have the Gilded Geeks. They have
What is
their
that?
they have
Oh, they're
they have
gamers.
Smash Bros tonight. We also have they're doing Game of Thrones trivia. So if you're Game of
Hell
Thrones
yeah, I'm
trivia
about to win some money.
fans, stick around. Guys, thank you guys so much. Our show is over now, but guys, check out our first season. It's on YouTube. You can go to How May We Service You and look us up. We are on YouTube. We have 14 episodes for season 1. We are now on 4 episodes for season 2. Guys, check it out.
And we've already had 2 heteros.
Yeah. We had a really good response from our teacher, and we have a doctor friend of mine that's going to be on the show coming
and
pretty
in March we have Sheldon
soon. From Black Pride.
from Black
Austin.
Pride,
That's
and
gonna-
then we also have
Stephen Dillard.
Stephen Dillard,
He is
OG,
he's an OG
up in the
local patron, but he also used to be in service industry. So
Yes.
we got some fun things
So
going
we
on.
have some fun
so
shit coming.
Stick around. Follow us on Instagram. Go to How We Service You. Follow us on all our social medias.
And thank y'all
Of course,
for
those will be
inviting me.
Oh,
in the
thank
front.
you
Yes,
for being
follow
with
Miss
us.
LUPTA NYONG'O,
Yes,
my
thank
baby.
y'all
and
for
happy Mardi Gras. I hope
Happy
you
Mardi Gras. Please
are
be
still in
safe.
your Lent.
Be responsible if you're out and about tomorrow night for, again, Fat Tuesday. Be responsible. Get a ride home. Get an Uber. Get a Lyft. Do all the good things. Be smart about everything. Don't go over drink and get
And
crazy.
always remember, TABC is watching your
They
bartenders.
are. So yeah, watch yourselves. So guys, thank y'all for listening. And again, thank you, Gina, for being here. And
Thank you,
again,
Texas.
thank you, Mackie Ray.
Thank you, Lamac.
The booty of.
I didn't even have to show my tits.
Austin. Yeah, I know. I didn't have to show anything for this. I just got it.
I'll
So.
see how y'all
All right,
do.
we'll see you
All right.
guys soon. Thank y'all for
How
listening.
may we service you?